Hello gamers, I'm Nkasiel, and in this video I wanted to talk about an upcoming MMORPG that, just like a few other MMOs that we discussed on the channel, shows a lot of potential. I'm talking about BellatoreS. This MMO promises to bring quite a few innovative features, and in this video I'm going to cover all there is to know so far and see if there is any reason for me or you to be excited about this title. Before we get into all the nitty-gritty details, I would like to thank all the returning subscribers for supporting me in this hobby of mine. It means more than you think. If you are a new viewer, welcome to the channel, and please consider dropping a like and subscribing if you end up liking this video. Alright, with all that out of the way, let's talk about what we can expect from BellatoreS. I like to talk about gameplay first, but in this particular case I have to talk a little bit about the story behind the game so we can better understand some of the innovative gameplay elements that I will cover. As always, I try to keep the spoilers regarding the story to a minimum. The world of BellatoreS is split between 6 houses. The royal house that rules over all, and 5 other houses that each have their territories. Our adventure starts after the death of the Mad King Henrik and the fall of the royal house. The world has fallen into chaos. Each of these 5 houses now are coveting the throne. To me, this setting sounds extremely similar to the Game of Thrones one. If you ever watched Game of Thrones and wish there was an MMORPG like that, your wish might just come true with BellatoreS. This will be the setting of the world, and it will give birth to some rich mechanics that we need to discuss. The world is split into nodes. Guilds will be able to take control of these nodes, and this will give them guild representatives in the House Senate. The House Senate votes on what policies are implemented in the house territories and how the house resources are being distributed. I believe the house lord position will also be up for grabs for those with strong political connections. As you can imagine, this will bring a lot of depth to the systems in-game. Not only will this mean that people that covet high positions will need to have people with the ability to fight for the territories behind them, but they also need to be able to socialize and build alliances on a multi-leveled political field. Guilds might also be able to switch their allegiance if the house they are serving is not fulfilling their needs, which might result in total pandemonium. But also a need for people to be deeply invested in the political elements of the game. This is not all there is to the game. Most people might not even be interested in the political element and will be happy to just be adventurers. The game will also provide a typical open world with resources to be farmed either through combat or gathering, and the resulting crafting system. The game will feature a player-driven economy, and we don't know how this will influence the political side of the game. Since we're talking about PvE, there will also be world bosses, and these world bosses might be the most original implementation of world bosses that I have seen so far in MMORPGs. The world bosses will be on the level of natural disasters, and they will threaten the territories they are in. They can destroy villages and cause natural disasters such as earthquakes or typhoons. In the footage we have available, a dragon is depicted destroying parts of a city. So players will come together to hunt and kill these bosses for them to be able to continue having somewhat of a peaceful experience. Now that we discussed a little bit about the setting of the world, we're finally at my favorite part of any game, and that is combat. The game will feature full action combat with complete freedom. There are no classes and seemingly no limit to how you can choose to play the game. You will be able to train different skills, and as you progress these skills they will gain various active and passive abilities. You can choose to mix and match them however you see fit. You might be wearing full plated armor and also use fire magic. The game will also feature full character collision, meaning both ranged and melee focused players will play very distinct and important roles. Strategy will play a very important role in combat. Being aware of positioning and having the right roles will often determine the outcome of most fights. While this has not been confirmed, I believe naval combat and features related to this will also be present in the game, if not at release, sometimes after. The lore of one of the houses is centered around sea and water content, so I believe that naval content will also be present in the game. Nothing has been said yet about mounts or other more casual features, like housing or small group content. The MMORPG genre is built on casual players. All of these features that I discussed previously are features that are targeted towards players that are deeply involved in the game, and will probably require a decent amount of time investment to fully explore. And while I'm certain a lot of people will get deeply involved in this, the game will also require the more casual players that will be the driving force behind the game. Now that we covered the gameplay elements of the game, we should also mention some of the technical aspects. The game will be released only on PC and is made in Unreal Engine 5. This will guarantee that the game will have outstanding graphics, but it will also require a decent PC to run. Another concern that people always have with MMORPGs is pay to win, and I believe this might be inevitable. The game is made by a Korean studio. Also, since the game has a massive focus on PvP, if there are no pay-to-win elements in the game, people will just real money trade on third-party websites. Sadly, this is the world we live in, so we have to accept the fact that MMORPGs will be pay-to-win, one way or another. Personally, I hate third-party RMT, because the money that goes to gold sellers and bot overlords will never benefit the game. Anyway, I can only hope that the systems in the game are set up in such a way that pay to win will not influence the enjoyment of the game for the vast majority of us. The last thing that I want to mention is the release date, and sadly there is no information on this yet. The game has been in development for a few years, and a reasonable assumption will be that we will see some testing phases towards the end of 2023 and maybe a release in 2024. In conclusion, I believe BellatoreS could potentially be an amazing MMORPG. It promises to bring a lot of innovative features to the genre, but this also brings a lot of concerns. The way these features will be implemented could result in an amazing game, but it also has a high chance of things going very wrong. BellatoreS has personally got my attention for now, and only time will tell if they manage to deliver on the promises they made and offer us an amazing MMO. If you made it to the end of the video, thank you very much for watching. Let me know in the comment section below what you think of this title. Is this something that sounds interesting to you? Are you looking forward to playing it? If you enjoyed the video, please consider leaving a like and subscribing. See you in the next one, gamers!